RGB. So let's go and run through them. We have the invert, which is I. Oh, let me just select it. Yes, it's activated, it's working. And then we have the grayscale, which is G. Let me just deactivate them. Alright, then we have the red channel, green, blue. We don't need them now. And then we have the normalized RGB. So this is our all three, RGB. Everything works. And then the split it. So RGB, normalized RGB is over here. So this is the red, this is the green, and this is the blue. Alright. You can see him if I turn on the red channel. You can see it over here. If I turn on the green channel, you can see it, and the blue, of course, you can see it down. You can see it down there. Moving along to the next filter. Let me turn off all these. What is it? The blue channel. Let me moving on to logarithmic mapping. So that's how it looks like. It looks a little bit weird. Maybe it's overblown. So the threshold looks like this. I can make it brighter and make it darker sometime. Alright, so this is the threshold. Then we have the twice as good contrast. This is a very simple contrast. Maybe it's a little bit blown out, but you can see in my face that this makes me a little bit brighter. Alright, then we have what do you have? Histogram searching. That doesn't work probably as it should, but it does store the values names inside the histogram 1D array, but it does not stretch out the pixels as it should. We have everything correct, but we cannot find the error, and if I activate it, it will crash the program, so I will avoid it and go to the meme blur. So that's how it looks like. So this is the meme blur. If I turn on the what's called threshold, you can see it better. So this is without. Alright. And then all the other blurs, we have Gaussian blur. Doesn't work as it should. The code is 100% clean, but it's not working. I will show it in a minute. Then we have the sharpen. It doesn't work. I don't know why. The code is perfect. Then we have the edge detection. The code is also very good. It's not working. The Sobel filter. The code looks no. This looks like there's no mistakes in the code, but it doesn't work. What do you have now? Let me select first. Alright, then we have the median blur. Median blur works. As you can see, so that's how it looked like. So let me turn on. Alright, last time now we will continue, because before I had to close it because my hard ran out of space. I didn't have any more space. So moving along to the next. This is the dynamics. This is the brightness, the logarithmic brightness and contrast, simple contrast, Gaussian. This is a dynamic. This Gaussian blur has a dynamic what's called dynamic kernel. So if I turn on what's called thresholding, you can see I can blur more and more and more, or I can blur less and less and less. So, but I cannot blur less than this. Okay, I can blur more and more until my computer crashes and dies. So that's it with the preview. Now let's view some code. So starting from the top, we have what do we have? We have the channels. Actually, we have the invert here, the first filter. So what does this do is I have all the pixels and I minus them with 255, which basically inverts the colors, and then I have this exponential brightness and darken, and I use the coefficient for that, and this is power. So that's basically is the exponential. So I have this logarithmic mapping. That's how it looks. This is the equation, and this is the log function. Here I have a simple contrast increase. Here I also use the contrast coefficient just like the darken and brightness. And here I also have simple contrast decrease. So I think I forgot to show that. But yeah, it does work. And well, basically what I do is I just multiply the pixels with a coefficient, and I should probably have a if sentence saying that if and cut them off if they get um, above 255 and set them to 155. If they get below 0, then they should be set to 0. I think I forgot to put it there, but yeah, it should be there. Maybe that's why it didn't work probably. And this is the threshold. First I make it grayscale. I will talk about that soon. And then what I do is I run an if statement saying that, so this is the for loop for the colors, saying that all colors that is above 127, so that is desired, what's called desired number, should be white, all the others should be black. And then this is the shade holder. I create a new variable called gray, and then I have all the colors, all the color layers add together and divided by 3, and then I set them is equal to the color channel each, and that's basically a black and white image. Not black and white, but grayscaled. Yeah, actually the same, I think. And then we have channels. This is channel green, red, green. It wasn't a requirement, but I chose to have them from the last hand in 2. So for basically how they work is I subtract. So I set the red in case of blue channel. I set the red and the green to 0, and then moving down to the twice as good contrast. So that's what I meant. In here I say I multiply the contrast by 2 and add the 127 to it. And then I run an if statement say that all the colors that goes above 255, so should be 255, all that colors that go below 0 should be set to 0. And then basically what this one sets a cutoff. I just cut off. And then moving down to the histogram, this is the histogram. Basically I run through all the pixels and set it in the histogram like this, in a one-dimensional what's called one-dimensional array. And then I have this equation. I check for minimum and maximum value by using this method, running through the histogram array. Afterwards I use this equation, but somehow, somewhat, perhaps, I don't know, it doesn't work. Moving down to the dynamic kernel, this is the blur function for the dynamic kernel, and this is a normalized RGB. So I'm running out of time, so I will run that very fast. So this is the normalized blue, this is the mean blur. Basically I have a kernel, I divide it by a sum, and then I run the kernel through the image. And this is the Gaussian blur, another kernel with this is the sum, and it doesn't work. I don't know why. Take a look at it, pause the video and see if you can find any mistakes, because we couldn't find any mistakes in the group and we tried to a lot. The same goes with this one. So this one is this one, and this one also, the edge detection, the Sobel and the Primit. They are all looking correct, no errors at all, but it doesn't work. The median filter does work, however, so we have transferred all the colors to grayscale, and then afterwards we what do? We run it through a bubble sort to find the median